It's time to take off your clothes, enjoy clothes-free living, and join us for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists.
Welcome to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, the show that celebrates clothes-free living for all. I'm your host, Frank Stone.
And I'm your correspondent, Lisa Monroe, and I'll be reporting on all things within the naturist community. So it's time to get naked and join us.
And enjoy clothes-free living on Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Well, greetings and welcome into Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 45 today. We thank you for being with us, enjoying nudism, naturism, clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. And you already know the pool is ready to go, the hot tub is fired up, the grill is going full bore, fruit and vegetables off to the right, your favorite cold drinks off to the left, hot tea, hot coffee inside, plenty of towels, plenty of suntan lotion, plenty of chairs. So there's no excuse for you to not be here, and we are glad that you are here enjoying this next hour with us. Again, Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 45, and now let's head out to the Mountain Air Ranch for the latest report, the ImPerfect tour. ANDEE RODGERS and her husband Tom.
Hi, this is ANDEE.
And this is Tom on the WINR on Wheels ImPerfect tour.
Through rain, snow, sleet, and hail. Well, not sleet and hail, but oh hail, was there ever wind. Projections were for 40 to 50 mile an hour winds with gusts up to 90 to 100. Tommy was masterful in his driving and got us to Mountain Air Ranch, before the really strong winds hit. So Mar is roughly 30 minutes from Denver, so not very far outside the city for day trips or spending the weekend. And they have some really beautiful rooms to rent and plenty of camping available as well. Once we got to the club entrance, Chris came out to meet us with a huge smile on her face and a very welcoming howdy and welcome to Mar. All the ladies in the office also just made us feel so welcome and so glad that we'd made it to their club. So some of the changes around the club are a new hot tub that can fit approximately 8 to 10 people, as well as an update to the pool for this summer's club goers to enjoy. And like Tom said, we had an absolutely wonderful time with the folks there and look forward to going back to Mountain Air Ranch again.
So until next time, we hope to see you down the road.
And there you go, the terrific ANDEE RODGERS with Women in Nude Recreation, part of the American Association for Nude Recreation. She and her husband Tom giving the latest update from the ImPerfect tour, this one from the Mountain Air Ranch. And we will have ANDEE RODGERS and her husband Tom on next week's show for their latest report. You are listening to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 45 today. We thank you for being with us. We look forward to this hour all week long with you, and we know that you do too. So we thank you very much for being with us. And now let's head over to the Netherlands to talk to naturist fiction author, the terrific Paul Z. Walker. He has a new book out there. So here we go, Paul Z. Walker. Let's head over to the Netherlands again. We're going to talk to Paul Z. Walker, a highly prolific and terrific author on all topics, but specifically we're here to talk to him about his naturist books, naturist fiction. And we had him on the show for a full-length interview back in late March, early April. We're bringing him back today for a short interview to discuss his latest release, Witch Kids. That's WITCH, Witch Kids. So let's welcome him today from the Netherlands, Paul Z. Walker. Hello, Paul. How are you today, sir?
Good morning, Frank. I'm doing fine. I hope you do so, too.
I'm doing well. Is the weather treating you okay? You able to get outside in the nude yet, or not quite yet?
Not quite yet. It's really cold. It's raining. It's 46 Fahrenheit. It's about 8 centigrade. That's not nude weather outside, unless you're a polar bear.
That's true. Yeah, I think you're wise to wait just a little bit. We don't need a sick Paul Z. Walker who then can't be nude anywhere.
No, I don't need one either.
That's right. All right. Well, you came out with this new book, and you mentioned it during your full-length interview, which we aired recently. Maybe just take us through it. What's the book all about? How did it come to be? And just tell us a story on Witch Kids that was released in February of this year.
The idea came to me when I had contact with Paul LaValle, who is running part of the American Nudist Research Library. He sent me a list of books to add to my naturist library, and I was somewhat surprised to also find naturist books for kids. I thought, oh, wow, that's interesting. I have a fan of lots of fans of my books, but one in particular who has a daughter who is a librarian. I got in contact with her and asked if it would be something to write a naturist book for kids. And she said, oh, that sounds good. I wrote a few chapters after investigating how do you write fiction for kids, because that's different.
Right.
I sent her the chapters, first 3. She assembled a group of 5, 6 kids and also their parents, all naturists. The kids read it after the parents read it.
Wow.
So she asked the parents, read this. Is this okay for your kids? Mm-hmm. The parents all were happy to say, yes, this is great. They handed the book to the kids. Kids loved it and asked when it was ready to be read completely.
Well, Paul, best wishes on this. It came out in February, and you said it's already selling very well, right?
It is, yes, absolutely. I'm surprised how many kids are on Amazon buying books. I think it's the older ones.
Yeah, or their parents are buying it for them, possibly,
yes.
Right?
Yep, and I hope they read it first and approve of it.
Yeah, well, I would advise that on anything, even a book about a car. Parents, you might want to read this first. You never know what's in the book, right? No matter what the topic is. So.
Yep, indeed. And then I just hope that the parents have a good time reading it.
Yeah, definitely. So, and I'm guessing it has somewhat of a happy ending because it does say on Amazon they're out to save a prince and princess.
Yeah.
My guess is they probably do. Otherwise, it would be not a happy ending.
There is a happy ending. Yes, definitely.
All right. Well, great to talk to you always. Author Paul Z. Walker out of the Netherlands. Check out his newest book, Which Kids? And Paul Z. Walker, go out there and have a great close-free day. We'll talk again soon.
Okay, thank you very much for this interview. Have a great day, Frank.
Thank you. You too. The terrific Paul Z. Walker. You can find him everywhere out there. His website, social media galore, and check out his latest book. And we thank Paul Z. Walker for all of his time on today's show. Well, you are listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 45 today. We thank you for being with us. And as you can tell by the music that is so sneakily catching up to us, it is time for the one, the only, the great, the terrific, the clothes-free Lisa Monroe. And here she is, the wonderful, the terrific, the over-the-top, clothes-free and smiling Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
I am doing terrific, Frank. How about yourself?
Not bad at all. Hard to believe episode 45 today. You do realize, I know you're pretty good at math and understanding the calendars. 52 weeks in a year, we're getting dangerously close to that 1-year anniversary, one show a week for an entire year. Are you excited or what?
I'm extremely excited and wanting to know where the heck that year is gone. I mean, what happened? How did we get here? It's just like every week it's like, hi, Frank, and we talk and everything. And then this show comes out and people, it's amazing to me. It's just amazing.
Absolutely. I thought on today's show, we never give actual numbers away for a few reasons. We're just not here to brag and toot our own horn in that way. But I thought we'd give a look at the different countries and the different cities that are tuning in. There are 195 countries in the world. I think I saw 5 are communist. We probably don't get in there, but I don't know. Leaves us with 190. We're in almost all of them. To give you an idea of our scope, we're heard in almost every single country in the world. And I have in front of me on Spotify, Lisa, the top 10 or so countries: United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, Germany, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, Belgium, Ireland, South Africa, France, Austria, Denmark, India, Spain, Philippines, Switzerland, Japan, Poland, Mexico, Greece, Italy, Romania, Brazil, Hungary, the Czech Republic, Portugal, Latvia, and the list goes on and on. Iceland, Israel, Bolivia. I know I said top 10 or so. I think I'm up to 40 or 50, but Bulgaria, Jamaica, Argentina, Malaysia, Turkey, Ukraine, the list goes on. And we're very grateful for the people who listen. And that's just our Spotify listeners. What do you have in terms of website visits, countries?
Well, the website has been surprising because websites are sort of on the wane now. People aren't as interested in them as they once were, unless they're product driven. But we've done pretty well, and it's surprised me. But obviously, our top 10 are United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Germany, Netherlands, France, Brazil, Spain, and Poland. And most of those countries are the ones we know are very strong, have strong naturist communities. So it stands to reason they would be the most. But I have something for you you probably may have not seen on the Spotify list.
Mm-hmm.
China, but Jordan, Croatia, Singapore, Syria, Thailand, Egypt, Kazakhstan, Saudi Arabia, Monaco. I'm just reading through the list here. Malta, Georgia, Albania, Peru, El Salvador. I'm looking for some of the American Samoa, Uruguay, Puerto Rico, the Seychelles, Uzbekistan, Greenland. Kind of cold there in Greenland for naturists, but Iraq, Tunisia, Kuwait, Nigeria, Oman, British Virgin Islands, the Caribbean Netherlands. I didn't even know that existed. They have a flag. So, and that's wonderful. But my point is, we are absolutely everywhere, and it's shocking.
Not everywhere, because on Spotify, not only do they break it down by city and by country, they break it down by planet.
Oh.
And we are only heard on Earth. No listeners on Mercury or Venus or Mars or Jupiter or Saturn, Uranus or Neptune. We get no listeners from the other planets, only from Earth. So I guess we can't say we're everywhere yet.
Okay, well, here's the deal. We're going to contact Elon Musk because he's going to the moon, he's going to Mars, and he's taking the podcast with him. That's all. I'm just going to say it now.
I think that's a good idea. They're out there, we're out there, and we appreciate everybody listening. That's why we do this show. We do it for you. We do it for us. We do it for naturism. Clothes-free living for all the right reasons. The only way to go as far as we're concerned. And Lisa Monroe, unfortunately, we must dash off. If you promise to stay clothes-free and smiling all week, we'll let you go. Is that a promise?
It's an absolute promise if you do too.
I will.
Good.
Have a great clothes-free week. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye, Frank.
Bye. Let's get to part 2 now of my interview with JD from the state of Arkansas, a highly restrictive state for naturism, nudism, clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. He's found a way around it, found a way to be free, so let's get to it right now. Part 2 of my interview with JD.
I'm a big fan of weightlifting, things like that. So I have that, and as long as it's not too hot in the garage, I'll work out there nude. It's much easier. You don't limit your movements. Realistically, I feel like everyone I know who's tried naturism or, dipped a toe in it even. Yeah. Like, I don't think I've ever met anyone that didn't like it.
Yeah, same here. I've worked out forever as well, and I don't think I've ever worn clothes while working out, other than when I had to at a gym or something. But for the most part, I try to work out at home. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think back right now as we're talking when I was ever dressed. I don't think I ever have been. Yeah. Some people might find that a little weird, a little bit odd, because they haven't discovered naturism, and they might think there's some risk. If you drop a weight, well, it's going to hurt if you have clothes on or off. It's not going to make a difference, right?
Yeah, exactly.
50 pounds is 50 pounds. It's going to hurt.
Yeah, your little nylon gym shorts aren't going to do much for you there.
They don't rebound and keep you safe.
But I definitely think it's something that with certain people, I was just open up front, told them about it, but they were like, "Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that." So I'm not gonna invite them over and just, be there and scare them if they're already iffy. That's not the thing. So I definitely think it comes down to being open and sharing who you are, mm-hmm. but at the same time, respecting others. It's kind of like if I have friends who are sober. Well, I'm not going to invite them over and have a bunch of liquor out on the table. Like I'm not, I'm going to respect their things, and I'm going to, or I'm going to have options for them. Same thing if I have vegetarian friends, I'm going to have options for them. It's the same mindset for me as I'm a naturist. They know that, or a lot of friends know that. But if they're not comfortable with that, then I'm not going to, not going to impose that on them.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Yeah. You're very consistent. Like you said, if they're vegetarians and you're not going to invite them over for a big steak dinner, that would be inappropriate too. Yeah. Well, great to talk to you. Great to get your thoughts on this, especially being a naturist in a non-naturist environment. It's not as easy for you, but you do find opportunities, and you'll get more the longer you're there, as you mentioned. And any last words for our listeners? Talking to JD from Arkansas, any final words for our listeners you'd like to pass along?
No, let's just continue building the community, even an online community, so that we can support each other and make sure the world knows how great it is to be the same way we were born.
Oh, it's the greatest feeling ever. All right, JD from Arkansas, thank you, sir. Have a great day. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
You bet. The terrific JD from Arkansas, a highly restrictive state when it comes to naturism, nudism, clothes-free living for all the right reasons. He's navigating around it. He's finding a way to live the clothes-free life, as is his wife. But as he said, let's continue to build a community. We are here for you. You are here for us. All of us are here for all of us. And really, that's the best way to look at it. And we thank JD for all of his time on last week's show, as well as today's show. Well, coming up next week on episode 46 and then episode 48, we'll have a full-length interview with ANDEE RODGERS. You've heard her reports on the last several episodes. Well, next week, full-length interview with ANDEE RODGERS, part 1, and then, of course, part 2 on episode 48. Well, I missed 47, didn't I? What's coming up on episode 47? I'll tell you next week. A very special show you will not want to miss. You don't want to miss any of them because it's all about you, all about clothes-free living. But 47, we have something a little bit different for you, and I'll tell you all about it on next week's show. Thank you for being with us today on Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 45 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning at 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, any place. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist. Have a great clothes-free day.